Okay, today we get to talk about triangles. I know you are extremely excited about the magical triangle. Now, here is a triangle. As you all know, a triangle has 3 points. We call those vertices. Vertices, which are the points. And there are 3 angles. That's why it's a triangle. There's angle 1. It's not really a very good 1. There's a 2. There's a 3. Now, this is a cool little thing that you can do. If you tear these 3 angles apart and then line them back up, if you did it right, which I did, they make a straight line. So, we already know from our last lesson on lines and angles that a straight line has 180 degrees on each side. Remember, it's a half a circle, so 180 on each half. So if the 3 angles inside a triangle make a straight line, that means the angles inside a triangle equal 180. Those are the interior angles, the inside. Of course, there are angles on the outside. Those are called exterior angles, and we'll talk about them later. So there's 180 degrees on the interior. Another way you can think of that is if we go back to a rectangle. We all know that a rectangle is a rectangle because it has 4 90-degree angles. It's what allows it to have the 2 parallel sets. So 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90 is 360 degrees. And we all know that we have to chop, or we can chop, a rectangle to 2 pieces to make a triangle. So that splits that 360 degrees into 180. Okay, so let's talk about the angles inside. If I have an angle that is 90 degrees, we talked about these. That's a complementary angle set, right? If I have these 2. If I do this, oops, that wasn't perfect. This is a 90 degrees, and these 2 will be a complementary because together they add up to 180. So there's 90 there, and there's another 90 there. This is called a right triangle. It is right because it has 90 degrees right there. Then you can have triangles where none of the angles are bigger than 90. So here's a fun one, 60, 60, 60. All these angles are acute. This is an acute triangle. It's also known as an equilateral. Equilateral. Because all the side lengths and all the angles are the same. And then I can have an angle that is larger than 90 degrees. Let's say 120 right here. That is an obtuse angle. Or not obtuse. Well, that's an obtuse angle, and so that makes that an obtuse triangle. Okay, so there's right, acute, and obtuse. What's some other things you might have learned before? If I have a triangle whose 2 sides are the same and have 2 matching angles, that's isosceles. I hate spelling that word, isosceles triangle. Okay. And we have an equilateral. Oh, and if no side length or angle is the same, they're all different, then that is a scalene triangle. All right, so those are you've seen all these names before. You saw these in elementary school, the different types of triangles. And you can pair up. You can be an obtuse scalene, or you can be an obtuse isosceles. You can be an acute scaling, and you can pair all these things up. You can't pair up angles, of course, because you can't be acute and a right triangle, and you can't be a right triangle and be obtuse. Yeah, so those are your combinations. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make math problems out of triangles. It's just a simple algebraic process. I draw a triangle. I give you some angles. I'll give you, let's say, 50 here and 60 right there. And I'll say, well, what's this angle going to be? It's the missing angle. It's very exciting, and everyone screams and says, oh my God, I love triangles. It makes a simple equation. You have an x, and then you have these two angles. I imagine you're always going to add them up before you write them down. 50 plus 60 is 110, and this equals 180. Now, this is the equation format. You would subtract the 110 from both sides of the equation, and you would get x equals 80. Do you have to do it that way? Not always. If you just said, well, that's 110, and I'm going to take 110 away from 180, and, oh, I just did 100 right here. Smart. Anyways, got a 70 there. Say it's good to check your answers. That would be okay on this problem. Now, I could give you a different type of triangle, where I say, well, these two angles are equal, and this one is not. So this one, it's more likely you're going to need to work out an equation, but you could also just say, well, I'm going to subtract 86 away from 180, and then divide what's left into two equal parts. And if you just do that, I'm fine with that too. The full equation is 2x plus 86 is going to equal 180 degrees. Now if I take away that 86 from the left side, and I'm taking 80 away from 180, leaving me with 100. Take away 6 more, I have 94. I have 2x left. It is a multiplying coefficient, so I'm going to divide, which is, as I said, you cut that into two equal parts, dividing by 2. You're going to get x equals, well, half of 90 is 45, half of 4 is 2, so that's going to be 47 degrees. Okay. That's what this is. I'm basically giving you 1 or 2 step equations hidden within triangles, which means your total is always going to be 180. I can give you a right triangle where you have the option of, well, you always have the option of not doing the full equation. You can just do the math like on this one, or if you subtracted 86 from 180 and then got the 94, and then did 94 divided by 2 is 47. If you did that, it's the same steps. This is a little more work. It will prepare you for the equations that you're going to be doing constantly for the rest of your life as a kid in high school. But here you have the option, going back to this, of like doing 2x plus 90 equals 180. Or you could say, I already have 90 here. I take the 90 away. I know I'm splitting the remaining 90. You have that option, right? And you get the 45s. It's up to you. Here are 4 problems that you can do. Ooh, the light is, I'm really making a good shadow here. Pause the video and do these 4 problems, and I'll check in, and yeah. All right. Let's go here. 2 angles are given. Finding one more. 80 plus 50 is going to be 130. So I'm going to subtract 130 from 80 and get 50. if you did the full equation, you would have done x plus 130 equals 180. Subtracted the 130. And x equals 50. Over here for number 2, 30 plus 30 is 60. Take that away from the 180. I get x equals 120 degrees. So that's 120 degrees. You could have also just added that up and did 180 minus 60 is 120. Either way, you're good. Put a little degree symbol there. Coming down here, we have 3 equal angles. This is an equilateral triangle. I have 1, 2, 3 axes. And they total 180 degrees. If I divide by 3, I get each angle is 60 degrees. 18 divided by 3 is 6. 180 divided by 3 is 60. There's your 3 angles in the equilateral triangle. And the last one, x plus 52 and 48, that's 90, and 10 more, so that's 100. Equals 180. Take away the 100. Get x equals 80. Okay. That's triangles. Interior angles. That's this lesson. That's all you have to do. This is going to be your homework paper. I'll attach it. Take a picture. Send it to me. Get some extra credit. Do a little learning while you're stuck at home. And you'll be more prepared when we get back to normal, whenever that may be. Take care.